Welcome back, everyone. And we are now towards the last workshop for the day, and it is a guide to building smart chatbot. In this session, we will learn about the evolution of chatbots, and we'll also see demo to build your own chatbot. This workshop is going to be conducted by Manoj Soni. He's the director of PureSoftware Limited.
Introducing me. Hello everyone, Manoj this side. Please confirm if I am audible to chat.
Yes, can you speak a bit louder?
Is it fair now?
Yes, you are. You are audible.
Okay, so let me share my screen first. First
Yes.
of all, a very good evening to everyone. I'm really glad to have you all in this session, and thanks a lot to NASSCOM and Lucha for inviting me to take the session. So let me start with a little bit about me. Hello everyone, I'm Manoj and I've been working with computers from past, I would say, 2 decades. Especially from last 15 years, I've been actively working in this industry where I've been playing multiple roles. I started my career as a tester and then I moved to DevOps. Sometimes I have done data analytics, leading projects from testing perspective, and now I am working as a director for the RPA offering which we have in our organization. So, why I have been telling you about this, I want to establish the ground rule of any product which we see in industry. So, the one thing which makes or breaks your product is to connect with the customer. So, whenever a customer is able to connect with your product or with your solution, the solution will definitely gonna make a success. And if the solution is very rock solid, without any issue, no defects in it, even after that, it's not able to connect with the customer, then I don't think it's going to make in the market. So this particular connect in nowadays when the technology is heavily involved in our life, this particular connect is actually bridged by chatbots. Whether it's your customer support, whether it's your issue resolution, whether it's related to your product support, whether it's providing you experience in the shopping industry, when where a bot will take you throughout the entire shopping experience, or whether it's providing you something, building an experience related to entertainment, like listening to music or watching videos. So one more solution which cover all these aspects along with chatbots are the backend engines which are actually performing the backend task for the customer. Now, before we start, let me ask you one thing about chatbots. So, I've just published a poll which talks about what do you think when you heard the word chatbot the very first time. So, let me publish it, and I'll take a 10-second break to provide you some time to respond on the poll.
I guess we have a technical error. Just be with us. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Hope I'm back. Sorry for the inconvenience, everyone. I believe there was some technical glitch, and I think I'm audible for everyone now. Throughout this entire presentation, I'll be walking you through about the brief introduction of a chatbot. I'll be also covering a little bit history of chatbots and then different kind of chatbot types. Then I'll be taking the session to how we can select the right set or right type of chatbot for our business. We'll be also touching a pretty unique test use case related to chatbot, and then we'll move to the last but not the least session on build how to build your own chatbot. So let me walk you through a little bit history of chatbot. The entire story starts in 1966 when one piece of solution or code came into picture which was considerably able to pass the turning test. Along with that, it was also able to behave like a human being. Although the responses was very limited in terms of knowledge, but this Eliza was actually developed to talk to psychological patients behaving as a physiotherapist or psychologist to them. So basically, it was actually designed to trick the people who are potentially crazy in terms of their mental state. Eventually this particular chatbot is still active and you guys can go and interact with it, but slowly and steadily the entire evolution of chatbot moved to Elisa and then Smart Child is one of the bot which used to live in AOL buddy list. I believe the pre-millennia generation very much aware of this particular chatbot where the Smart Child was pretty much able to perform many tasks like booking a movie ticket or checking the weather or checking the stock price. It was really helpful. It used to live in AOL buddy list. Now, slowly and steadily from Smart Child, we have started seeing the differentiation between a piece of code to a human-like solution. So from Smart Child, we moved to the IBM Watson, which was actually the very first version of AI-enabled bot, and then slowly and steadily, everyone knows about the Siri. Whether you are an Apple consumer or not, I believe once in your lifetime you might have interacted with Siri for pretty much asking about any general thing. Later on, we moved to Alexa, which was very capable to perform a small kind of automation, and as well as to control some dumb machines like air conditioner in your house, fridges, fan speed, or locking the main door. Definitely, everyone. So let me tell you a story about one of the very interesting story about one of the messenger bot which Facebook developed. So a couple of years ago, Facebook developed two different sets of bot which have AI capabilities, and they started making them to talk to each other and started monitoring the progress of these bots. Now we'll definitely talk about how AI capable bots works and what's the nature of these bots, but what happened eventually in between these two bots is over a period of time they started developing a very complex thing on their own. They started developing their own language to communicate with each other, and eventually Facebook was forced to put a stop on both the solution, and they dump it. And definitely later on the Microsoft Taya come into picture, which is much more smarter as compared to Siri or Alexa, and started behaving like a mixed hybrid of rule-based bots or simple bots to a smart AI-enabled bot. So let me move to the entire session to what kind of bots are there, what kind of chat bots are there. So if you look at it from business perspective, there are only three kinds of chat bots. One is Sorry for the inconvenience, everyone. It seems like there are lots of load shedding in my area, so I came back on network too. And thanks for holding the bridge for me, Richa. Thanks a lot. So let me recover the type of chatbot here. So if we categorize the chatbots, there are three different kind of categories for chatbots. The very first one are simple chatbots, which are very basic chatbots. They follow a predefined flow or path to interact with the customers. They have kind of a guardrail. So if you think of simple chatbot, think of a bat or a parrot in your house. You train them to understand specific instruction, to follow your specific commands, and once you have trained them, then they will start acting or take action based on your command. So you can simply call them to come here and then to sit, they'll do the needful. Now, when we talk about smart chatbots are like a growing up kid. You teach them basically, and they'll analyze that information, they'll analyze that teaching, and then based on their environmental factors and based on the teaching, they'll start making decisions. So think of a growing up kid who not only learn from you as a teacher, but also learn from the surrounding environment or whatever happened to them in their day-to-day life. So those are smart chatbots. And then there is a between smart chatbot and simple chatbots, which called a hybrid bot, where both the bots come with their pros and cons together and provide a solution to the customer. So we'll definitely talk about types of hybrid bots, and I'll also cover a use case, how a hybrid bot can help our customers in terms of their routine tasks or in terms of their business. But these are the different kind of chatbots available in the market. So when we talk about simple chatbots, they design in a manner that will follow a simple instruction mechanism. You'll start your conversation with these kind of chatbots. You'll type your question, and they'll start giving you predefined answers. They are designed to guide you to perform a certain task. Now, I believe once we are clear with the type of chatbot and what they can do for us, what is the right fit for our business? So see, both the chatbots, whether it's your simple chatbot or whether it's your smart chatbot, both the chatbots come with their own pros and cons. In fact, the simple chatbots with those guardrails around them, which keep them on the same path, which keep them on the same track with the customers, are also useful. So the very first thing we need to understand is what is our requirement. Whether we want to perform a predefined process, whether we want to use support customers or support engineers from the support services, or whether we want to perform a certain task in the back end, we need to identify what is our requirement statement. So that is the very first and the most important topic when it comes to selection of chatbot. The second thing which we need to understand is who is our target audience.
Manoj,
So we're designing the chatbot
Manoj,
for
can I
youngsters
interrupt a
to
bit here?
go through a shopping experience, or we are designing the chatbots for technology geeks who want to raise
Manoj,
certain
can I
tickets for
interrupt
us,
you
or
a
we are
bit?
designing the tech.
Am I audible?
Yes, 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 Ucha, you are.
Manoj, can you switch off your camera? Either your voice is not heard nor is your screen properly seen.
Is it okay now?
Just give me a moment. The screen is still the same.
I'm on right fit for your business.
No, the screen is still not visible. It is completely blurred.
Let me reshare it again. Is it visible now?
Yes, this is much better now. Please switch off your camera and don't turn it on so that we can
Okay,
hear you properly and see the screen properly. Thank you so much.
sure.
All
Am
right.
I audible properly?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I believe I left at requirement statement. Then you also need to consider about your customer journey and experience. So how you want to talk to your customer, what kind of behavior or impression you want to set for your customer, whether you want to trick your customers stating that your chatbot is actually a support service engineer who is helping them, or whether you want to let your customer know that they are talking to a chatbot and this particular piece of code is very much capable of delivering what customer wants. The second thing which we need to understand when it comes to selection of chatbots is a channel of support. So this is something which is related to localization. Just to give you an example or a context of it, understand this. In India, we use heavily, or we are very heavily dependent on WhatsApp. Whether in China, people are very heavily dependent on WeChat. So both the channels provide similar kind of services, but again, we need to understand what kind of channel we are providing for customer when it comes to chatbot. You can design a chatbot sitting in email and on top of it, you can design a chatbot or there is a smart board, there is
Manoj,
essential.
Manoj, you are not audible, absolutely not audible. What we'll do is we will go on with the next session, which is hello, Manoj. Am I audible?
One of the things which we need to understand, we need to
Manoj, we'll have
each business use on a experience with the customer. Coming or interacting with your customer, but is not is able to provide you into it of action of and so this is from chatbot is one part. And if you are selecting a chatbot organization, keep an eye on that. Understand this that the output is need to provide you lots of information about your customer and their action and behavior. Now, the last but not the least item is human reach. As I told you earlier, many times what's happened is like human with the machine through people.
Hello everyone. Please bear with us because we do have a technical issue around. But in the meantime, till Manoj's connection is restored and is back running, we will have the second part of the session, which is going to be presented by the Future Skills team. We will just go ahead with the session. In this session, we will be exploring RPA pathway on the NASSCOM Future Skills Prime platform. And we do have Sheeba Thomas, who's the lead partnership relationships from NASSCOM Future Skills Prime to
Yes.
present us about it. Welcome, Sheeba.
Thank you so much, Ruchi. Manoj's session was very awe-inspiring, and I was waiting here for the rest of it. I'm sure we will hear it in a little while. In the
You
mean,
have it after your session.
sure. Uh, just a few thoughts. The AI revolution, as we call it, has fundamentally changed the way people look at doing processes as well as transforming business across, and it has become a completely and inspiring in a way that the future has changed technology through the years. It's amazing that unless we reskill and upskill ourselves, both industry and academia, we won't be able to keep up with the changing times. Which comes to the most important ad. But let me introduce the mighty NASSCOM initiative for digitally skilling India across the world. I'm just sharing a short presentation, and I'm hoping. Uh, is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Uh, I'm able to see my screen. Can you see the presentation?
No, your screen is not visible.
Is this visible now?
Yes, this is visible now.
Yeah. So what we are really trying to do is transform India's story with a national digital skills platform. Everybody will wonder what exactly is this. Today, NASSCOM FutureSkills Prime platform is actually the mighty, that is the Ministry of Information, the Electronics Information Technology with NASSCOM, the digital skilling initiative for the country. The government wants each and every one of us to be part of the Digital Skills India platform to make sure that we all are technology enabled by 2023-25. uh, a very very This is an anecdote of the skills challenge. Make sure that each and every one has the capability to come in and learn about any of the emerging technologies, any of the courses in technology, and any professional skills that we want. The platform is an aggregator. We are agnostic of partnership. We have brought in all technologies on the platform with close to 211 courses. Most of it is free, as well as some of it is paid. What we are really trying to do is we are ensuring there is 8.6 lakh signups have happened till date since the start of our inception in 2018. Till now, we have 35 lakhs people who have done the digital fluency. We have 4 lakhs who have enrolled, and 35% of them who has become enrolled, enabled, and going forward. What we want each and every one of us to do is be part of this digital skills journey. This is a platform which is the largest platform in India. We want each and every one of it come in, sign up, enroll in one of the courses, and be part of the journey itself. If you look at a complete construct of how we work, we have digital fluency pathways, we have foundation courses, we have deep skilling courses, we obviously have virtual labs for anything to do with technology. You need to know how to do practicals. We have industry demanded certifications. We have OEM courses like the Cisco, the Google, AWS, all of them. And most important, we have what we call as the Skills Sector Council assessment. You certify and ensure the fact that this is a preferential treatment that you would get in the industry when we do this assessment.
Shiba, sorry to interrupt you. Can you put the presentation in a full screen mode so that it's visible to everyone?
Sure, of course. I'm so sorry. Can you see it
That's
now?
all right.
Yeah. So when you look at the learner journey, it's very simple. Register on the Future Skills Prime for free. You just can't get started by building a digital fluency. Choose any topic of the 10 emerging technology. To be very specific, the emerging technologies is artificial intelligence. You have robotics. You have 3D modeling. You have web and mobile development. You name it, you have the course. You have all the courses, AR, VR, which leads into gamification. We have all the 10 emerging technologies, curriculums which have been defined by the industry and the government together, and partners who have ensured the fact all these courses are aligned to it. Okay, and we also have multiple professional skills courses, from communication, which helps in skills gap, to every professional skills, to make sure you are completely reskilled and upskilled for the future. You can take each of the foundation courses as per your time, as per your choice. You have courses which are both free as well as paid. You can then go ahead and build expertise on taking deep skill courses which has pathways, and they will ensure the fact you should definitely take the assessment which will lead to a certification. The certification will ensure the fact it is a validated certification which both industry and the academia will can take it forward. Okay, who is the partner ecosystem? If you look at my left, it is the entire of the OEMs, from Cisco to Microsoft to AWS to Adobe, Salesforce, and Oracle. In the industry, we have Accenture, and we have other courses coming in. Virtual labs, you have TERV and OpenServe and CoStack, which are the big names to wear together in the virtual labs. Some of it is free and some of it is paid. You have government courses of CDAC, NILET, and NPTEL. NPTEL, for all information, is the IIT courses that are certified in the emerging tech. You have EdTech VLT courses from small partners who are completely customized these programs to
Shiba,
large partners like Upgrad. Sorry,
Shiba, the presentation is still has not come into a full screen mode. The audience is not able to read anything properly.
it is on full screen.
No, for us, it is still in the PPT format.
Is it? Can you see it in full?
No, it is not full. Can you just begin the slideshow?
Sure.
You can press F5.
Has it happened?
No, not yet.
One second. Give me a minute, please.
Yeah. Can you close down other screens if you have any which are open?
There aren't. Okay. Yep. Can you see it? Is it on slideshow?
No, it is still not in the full presentation mode. It is on. It is a presentation. I want it in the full screen. Can you please just press F5?
It is on F5.
Okay, let's continue, Shiba.
Okay. So we have gone through all the future skills prime partner ecosystem. We have both edtech self-paced as well as VLT programs, government industry virtual labs, OEM, and as well as the entire partner ecosystem. What we would like all, both your employees and academy and everybody that is, who is aware, we would like everybody to come in and sign up on on Future Skills Prime. Please get sign up, enroll into a course of your choice, be it foundation or be it deep skilling or professional skills. Please do the assessments for the deep skilling and foundation course and get yourself certified. With that, I will invite Palak to join in to share, to give us a brief about the pathways. Palak, over to you. Uh, Palak, over to you.
Hi, everybody. I hope I'm audible. So I'm going to pick up from where Sheba left off. Like she said, we want everybody to be a part of this digital skilling journey. And as she mentioned, we don't want to leave anybody behind. So, one of the best features about the Future Skills Prime platform is that it's accessible, and almost anybody and everybody will find something of use on the platform. It Yes, I will just share the link in a minute. So if you're a working professional, if you're someone who's just getting started, if you're someone who just wants to be introduced to these technologies, the platform is exactly the place to be. If you're somebody who wants to do a deep skilling course like she mentioned, which is an advanced course, then it's also the place for you. So what I'm going to focus on, at least for the next 5-10 minutes, is I'm going to take you through how you can do something that we call pathway on the platform, an RPA pathway specifically. uh, on the platform, we have pathways that are basically micro structured learning content. The idea of this is to tell you that you don't need to be spending 2 hours and 10 hours, just to be able to understand the concept. You can spend 30 minutes and just at least get an introduction about a particular technology, so you can at least be in a good enough place to hold a conversation with somebody. So I'm just going to take you through how you can start a pathway, and once you complete it, you can even earn a badge that you can share on social media showcasing that you've done this pathway. I'm just going to show you what a pathway looks like, what it covers. I'm just sharing my screen, so please let me know once it's visible. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, I'm just going to paste this link in the chat here. This is where you can go and get started. So here we have a pathway called Getting Started with RPA. So all the pathways on our platform are free. They belong to a category called Digital Fluency. Digital Fluency is a product on the platform that aims to basically just equip you with awareness level information on any of these 10 technologies. So the first thing you need to do, and the only thing you need to do in order to be able to look at this pathway, is you have to sign up on the platform, which is a fairly simple process. You log in using your credentials. You can log in with Google. It 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 won't take a lot of time. Maybe I can just show you. You can use your account. Right, it's a fairly simple sign up process, and once you're done with it, what happens then is, if I click on this, okay, sorry, just give me a second. um, it just asks you to fill in some details, and once you do that, you're all ready to go. uh, Let me just show you the pathway directly. Just give me a second, please.
Palak, we're not able to see your screen.
Yeah, yeah, Rucha, I've actually stopped sharing it. I'm trying to open another window.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting for it to load.
Okay. If there are bandwidth issues, you can just switch off your camera and go on.
Okay. So in the meantime, till the page loads, what I can show you is a presentation, rather, to just show you what
Yes,
a,
please.
a pathway looks like.
Yeah.
Is my screen visible? Can you
Yes,
just
it
let me
is
know?
visible.
Okay.
Well, please put it on
Yes.
presentation mode.
Just give me a second. Is this okay?
Yes, this is okay.
Okay, so now ideally what happens is this is the link that I've shared with you. Once you sign into the platform, this is the page that you're going to be redirected to. Like I mentioned, all pathways on the Future Skills Prime platform are anywhere between 25 to 35 minutes, including this one. So it will show you your progress, how much where you are in a particular pathway. It will give you an overview about what you're expected to understand, or it's basically going to tell you that okay, if you know I'm investing 30 minutes in a pathway, this is what you can expect by the end of it, right? And so basically a pathway consists of open source content, and the best feature about this content is it's all validated by subject matter experts. So we are telling you that you know this is the best place to go to. You don't have to, you don't really have to be confused about what article, what video should I watch if I want to understand RPA. We are condensing everything for you in one particular place, giving you concise, relevant, updated information so that you can at least understand the basics of what RPA means, and in just 30 minutes. So this pathway would consist of a video, it could consist of an article, it could consist of a podcast. The idea is to cater to, you know, learners of all kinds. So once you complete it, once you make progress, at the end you're going to come across a short 5-minute quiz that will also help you test your knowledge. A good feature about this quiz is you can take it as many times as you want, and it's just a 5-minute quiz with 5 questions. And once you're done with it, this is a pop-up that you're going to get that you've earned a digital fluency badge, and this is a badge that you can share on your social media platforms. So every pathway you complete on the Future Skills Prime platform, you earn a badge. This was just a short introduction or a short presentation of what doing a pathway looks like. And let me just see if, okay, I'm still stuck on this page for some reason. um, okay, so I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a second and see if I can get this page up.
Hi, Palak.
Yeah, hi Rucha. Okay, it seems like I'm facing some issue trying to log in to the platform. So, in the meantime, if anybody has any questions, I'd be more than glad to answer them.
Um, okay, I don't see any questions. Which would you be
Okay,
able to share your screen, Palak? Are you done with it, or should we go on with Manoj's session?
Rucha, I think we can go on with Manoj's session because I'm just unable to log into the platform for some reason.
All right.
So, in the meantime, okay.
Okay, we have Manoj's session presentation going on. Um, Everyone will just begin with Manoj's session that where he left back from.
So, thank you everyone, and let me continue with my session. I believe we have left at the chatbot categorization where most of the disturbance started happening. So, thanks a lot for being present in the session. Let me start covering with the chatbot categorization. So, when we look at chatbots, there are three different kind of categories in chatbot. The very first one is simple chatbot. When we talk about simple chatbot, think of a rule-based program which will follow a
Manoj,
specified flow.
Manoj, just a query.
Yes,
Just a small
sure.
request from everybody that everyone wants you to start from the scratch.
Sure, I can do that. No
Yes,
worries.
please. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so I believe I have covered the introduction part, pretty much everything in the earlier session. If you want, I can start with the introduction again. I'm Manoj, and I've been working in this industry from past 15 years. I've been playing various roles like I started my career as a tester, then move on to DevOps. Some part of my career, I have also played the role of data analytics, and now I'm leading the entire RPA delivery team here in PureSoftware. So that's about me. But this entire session is about chatbots, and when we talk about chatbot, there are multiple things which came into our mind. But before that, let me ask you one thing: what comes in your mind when you heard the terms chatbot? And the polls are already there, so you can select what comes in your mind. When we talk about any solution in the industry, one thing which makes or breaks your solution in terms of success in the market is interaction or connection with the customer. So let's say if your solution is very stable without any issue, it's almost bug free or defect free, but it's not able to interact with the customer, not able to perform what customer needs to do with it, it won't get succeed. And even if it's have lots of bugs like Windows XP with almost 1 lakh open issues at the time of going out from the market, even with that amount of that number of issues, if your solution is capable to interact with your customer in a proper manner, then definitely it's going to be a big success. And in today's world, chatbot is actually working to bridge that gap between customer and the solution. Now, in our day-to-day life, when we look at our interaction with the digital platforms, we have been doing lots of online shopping. We have been raising various platform issue tickets or requesting for some sort of support services, or sometimes we are just doing visiting a website and understanding the website in terms of its features, its logos, its menus, etc. So every time when we do something like that, most of the time a chatbot is there to help us out there. Whether it's Alexa or Siri on your mobile devices, or whether it's Disha on IRCT website, these chatbots are actually helping us out a lot in terms of our day-to-day digital interaction with the solution. Now, throughout this session, I'll be covering a brief history of chatbots, how this entire thing started, types of chatbots. Then we'll definitely move to the part of this entire presentation where we're going to talk about how we can select the appropriate chatbot for our business. We'll also going to cover a pretty unique use case which we have implemented for one of our customer, which works as a hybrid chatbot for the customer, and then we'll move to our end of the session, we'll move to the part where we're going to build our own simple chatbot on Microsoft platform. So this entire history of chatbot started in the year 1966 when the first piece of code, considerable piece of code, which used to work as a chatbot came into picture, Elisa. This entire solution was developed by a group of MIT people and for psychologists so that they can interact with people by tricking them that the chatbot is an actual psychologist or a human in the other end of the solution. So basically, this particular chatbot was very limited in terms of option, and it used to ask open-ended questions to the possible crazy people out there. But definitely, this particular chatbot was able to pass the turning test, which was the basic acceptance test for any chatbot to be available in the market. Throughout the years, slowly and steadily, we moved from very specific rule-based simple chatbots to slightly advanced and complex chatbots, which was able to perform certain complex action like Elisa and then smarter chat. So the smarter child is something which pre-millennia generation can correlate with. This particular chatbot used to live in your AOL buddy list, and it was very capable to do or perform certain tasks like checking the stock prices, booking a movie ticket, or getting the weather details. But
Manoj, are you presenting something?
yes, Rucha, I am on history of chatbot.
No, we cannot see your presentation.
Uh,
Yes, now it is seen.
okay. So after the smarter child, the entire industry moved to IBM Watson, which was very capable of utilizing the AI interface in the backend and was able to perform lots of decision making at machine level. And at mass, if you look at it later on in earlier 2010, we came to know about Siri. So whether you are an Apple consumer or not, most of you have interacted with Siri once in your lifespan. Whether it was asking a stupid joke to Siri or giving an instruction to book a schedule in your phone, Siri was there to help you out. But slowly and steadily, these chatbots started coming out from a machine and started interacting in our physical world as well. Something we call as Alexa, which was very much capable to control your entire home, whether it's increasing the temperature of your air conditioner, or turning on or off the lights, or locking your entire house. Then one of the really interesting story which came into late 2016 was messenger bots, where Facebook started a small experiment by designing two different AI capable bots, which was then forced to talk to each other. And over the period of time, down the line, 1 year, after 1 year, these two bots developed a very complex solution for themselves, as complex as their own language. So they started talking in their own language, and ultimately, the engineers stopped understanding the conversation between these two machines, and they are forced to stop the entire solution. Now, that's what the power of AI is. No? And that is the reason why Elon Musk is very much worried about AI as compared to nukes. So later on, Microsoft bring in the Taya platform, which actually provide a bridge between AI-enabled chatbots and also the rule-based chatbots for entire industry, and can sits and works in your Windows-based platform. So this is about the history of chatbot. We started with very simple and easy bots in the year of 1966, which was very defined in terms of its limitation. Then slowly and steadily we moved to bots, which was very much capable of performing physical actions in the real world, like turning on or off the lights or controlling your entire home automation. So if you look at the categorization based on the history of chatbot, there are three kind of categories for chatbots. The very first one is simple chatbots. Simple chatbots are nothing but think of a pet in your house, a newly gathered pet in your house. So you trained it, you gave them instructions, and they'll start following the instruction. So over the period of time, you train them like, okay, sit down or come here or go there, and they'll start following your instruction. But they are very limited. So if you give them any new instruction or any new command, they won't be able to perform related action to it. The smart chatbots are more or less like a growing up kid. So you not only train them or coach them, you once you coach them, after that they'll also learn from their surroundings or their environment. They'll also learn from all the interaction happening with them on day-to-day basis. So these growing up childs actually learn from various factors. There are multiple parameters involved in their learning, and it's a constant learning. So they will be able to understand something which you haven't trained them or teach them in future, because their environment has an impact on them related to that parameter. So these are the smart chatbots which are very much able to learn and evolve over the period of time. If you look at the few of the example of smart chatbots, Alexa and Siri are few of them. They learn over the period of time and start behaving smartly. And then, of course, we have hybrid chatbots, which was actually overlap between simple chatbots and smart chatbots, where The simple chatbots actually force the customer to stay in those guardrails, and on the other side, the smart chatbot actually make the decision based on their AI algorithms or machine learning interfaces. So feel free to stop me if I'm going too fast or too slow, or if you want to ask me a question, just feel free. Or you can always put your questions in the question segment. Now, once we understand the idea of a simple smart chatbot, the next thing came into our mind is why these chatbots are very useful for us and how to select the right type of chatbot for our business. So the very first question which came in our mind once we take a call that okay, let's introduce a chatbot to perform certain action in our business, how to select which one is the right fit for our business, whether it's a simple bot which follow predefined instruction and pathways or flows to guide our customers, or whether it's a complex bot which or uh, AI enabled bot which require to take multiple decisions throughout this interaction with the customer. So that's entirely depend on various parameters. The very first one is a requirement statement. So what you want to achieve from your chatbot. See, each business have a different need of chatbots. Some of the business might require their chatbots to just to reduce the number of support services staff. On the other side, some businesses might require chatbot to build the customer experience or to enhance the customer experience when the customer is interacting with their solution. So depending on your need, you need to understand which chatbot need to be selected. If you want to perform a process or something related to certain predefined action related to a process, go for a simple one. If you want to talk about customer experience and new learnings or decision making, go for a smart one. Now, in the requirement statement itself, once we are done with our what is the need of the chatbot answer, then we need to move on target audience. So we need to understand that the current generation is very much familiar and comfortable with in talking with machines, whether the older generation or preliminary generations are a little bit hesitant when it comes to talking to a machine instead of a person. So we need to understand who is our target audience. Based on that, we can select which chatbot is the right fit for our business. The third one is the tasks which need to be performed, which I have already covered in the very first area, where if we have a predefined task which need to be performed by the chatbot, go for a simple one. If we have a complex task which need lots of decision making and learning or evolving, go for a smart one. We also need to understand what kind of customer journey or experience we are looking at. So if we are looking at, let's say, just booking a railway ticket, go for something dumber like Disha, readily available on IRCT website. If we are looking at, building up new skills or enhancing the entire solution with new capabilities, that something like Alexa gonna help you out there. The second point which we need to consider when it comes to selection of bots is a channel where we are going to implement those bots. So a chatbot, whether it's simple or a smart one or a hybrid one, can sit behind email engines or your inbox. Can also talk to your customer on a website. Can work like a device in your household appliances, something like Alexa. So you need to understand through which channel you are going to communicate with your customer, and based on that you can make your choices. The third point, which is very important when it comes to selection of chatbot, is domain expertise. So many times we have seen that some specific tasks are very easy to perform with some readily available domain knowledge. So in such kind of scenario, let's say if you want to raise a PO, which is entirely a finance process, and your chatbot have knowledge or training about finance processes, then it will be able to perform the PO generation pretty quickly. On the other side, if we are talking about, let's say, a PO generation bot helping another customer to going through their shopping journey on a e-commerce website, it's not going to be very helpful. So you need to understand which kind of domain expertise you need to inbuild or put in as a training part in your chatbot. One thing which is not related to the customer while it's come to selection of chatbot, but again, very important when it comes to a solution, is output matrices. So output matrices are actually going to provide you very valuable information about your customer experience on your platform or on or on your solution. And if your chatbot is capable to record these transactions related to the customer alongside with your customer experience throughout their transaction, it's going to be very helpful for you to grow your business, and they're going to work as a customer feedback mechanism for your entire business. So that is again, one very important thing which need to be considered when it comes to chatbot selection. The last but not the least one is human mimicry. So as I mentioned earlier to each one of you that when it comes to a chatbot, there is a generation gap. So the pre-millennial generation actually hesitate when they are talking to a system and they want to talk to a real human sitting hand on a screen. On the other side, new generation or the current generations are very familiar or okay or comfortable when it comes to talking to a machine. They know there is a piece of solution which going to help them out to perform certain tasks. So you need to understand whether you want to trick your customer that they are talking to a real person, or whether you want to reveal it to your customer that they are talking to a solution so that they can utilize your entire platform more effectively. So based on these certain parameters, you can select the right fit for your business or for your organization, which kind of chatbot you want to proceed with. I hope there is no question so far. Let me just quickly go to the backend platform and look at this. I'll take a 10-second pause here just to go through the questions. Okay, so let me go back to the presentation here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, hybrid bot is something which is a cross between a smart chatbot and a simple chat. And this is one of the use case which I want each one of you to walk through when it comes to a hybrid chatbot implementation. And this will give you a perspective how a chatbot can help the end business to meet their goals or to meet their needs. So this particular solution which we have developed for one of the insurance provider whose main business was to provide insurance related to mobile screens. So they used to provide, their customer used to take their purchase their product when it comes to insure their devices screen. And whenever the customer used to raise a claim, when they have a broken screen in your device and they used to raise a claim, it used to take the customer 3 to 4 days to process the entire claim registration part. Now, what this chatbot, of course, we can talk about the technology behind this entire stack in lots of depth, but I just want to tell you like how this entire thing helped the business to reduce the SLAs. So this particular chatbot used to guide the customer when they came to the web platform or the mobile device platform to raise a claim request for their broken screen. This particular chatbot used to guide the customer to go through certain steps or tests on their broken device and upload that entire information to the backend AI-enabled chatbots. Now, whether the customer reached to the web platform or they are using some other device images and put a data cable into the device and gather the entire information. Once that part is done, the entire backend AI-enabled bot take a decision whether the screen is actually broken or it's a liquid damage due to some excessive liquid uses on the device. And based on that, the AI-enabled solution actually take a decision and provide an input back to the customer stating that yes, your claim is registered or your claim is under process of registration and you need to take your device back to the insurance provider centers, and from there you can take it forward. So the entire solution actually help the end customer to not only reduce the SLA claim registration from 3 days to couple of hours, but also help the organization to focus on more fake claims or more rejected claims so that they can provide or generate that wow experience for the customer. So I'll just use the pointer here. So the entire chatbot actually help the customer to capture the images of the devices, and then this all these images goes back to the machine learning algorithm based on which the entire decision has been made. Now, let's say the decision has been made to go ahead with the claim processing. Then, in that case, the entire information is flowed in the backend to admin app and databases and generate a report about the transaction. And if not, it will again go back to the customer and update them in front of their screen as part of their chatbot transaction. Okay. So, as a result, what we have achieved with this implementation was we have saved end customer time to visit the customer care centers or insurance office to buy the to register the claim. We have reached or achieved almost 80 to 85% accuracy through the machine learning algos to identify whether the screen is actually broken due to a impact or not. And we have also automated the entire damage acceleration or claim processing in the backend as part of this entire output. So on the technology front, we have used very basic programming in Python. There was some readily available AI engines which we have implemented using these technologies. And yes, definitely on the front end, a simple flow-based chatbot has been utilized to instruct the customer to go through a series of tests. Now, before we move to demo or build your own bot, I just want each one of you to go through a simple chatbot and have an experience how this chatbot works. In fact, before that, I just want to share a screen of
Hello, everyone. Sincere apologies for the technical issues that have been arising in the last session of the day. But nevertheless, we will reschedule this session on another date and another day time, and we will let everybody know about it. Till the time we would be closing for the day. Thanks a lot to all the speakers for wonderful presentations and wonderful workshops. We wish to thank you all for attending the workshops today. We have had an action packed day tomorrow, comprising of exciting sessions and panel discussions starting at 10 a.m. For those who have registered for the in person event, please join us at Hotel Leela Ambience Gurugram tomorrow. If you have registered to attend the event virtually, you can view the sessions through live streaming. Looking forward to having you with us tomorrow. Thank you everyone and thanks a lot for the considerations and have a good evening.